Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coin Republic podcast. My name is Shura Bhattacharya. In our podcast, we oftentimes talk about the blockchain trilemma: speed, security, and scalability. You cannot scale a business, a Web3 business, without mass adoption. And that's where things get tricky because oftentimes when I interact with different communities, the different blockchains and all the technicals becomes quite complicated for the people who are uninitiated. Today I am going to focus on a project, a Web3 project, a company that focuses on adoption quite a lot. Self is the name of the company. They're a fully decentralized project enabling users to build Web3 identity. They combine ease of use with avatars through NFT technology. They eliminate the need for complicated address strings and connect everything across the web from your wallet, emails, and other documents to loyalty cards and much more. I am joined over here with Mr. Eric Scott from the team. Welcome, Mr. Eric Scott, to the stream.
Hey, how you doing? Happy to be here.
Pleasure. As we know, we started the podcast. You wanted to keep it candid, casual. So let's just start with your background a little bit because people want to know, how did you stumble upon Web3? You have 20 plus experience across different fields. People are just curious, how did you end up in the Web3 field?
You bet. So I have 20 plus years of corporate experience in operations and finance and technology. And I currently work for Oracle, one of the largest companies in the world. And my dad had told me about Bitcoin, 10 years ago. And I wish I would have listened to him and put a bunch of money in it. But, to our defense, like, it was really hard to get Bitcoin back then. And so it wasn't as easy as people can get it now. And so it was always on my radar. And then I entered the space fully in 2020 as I finally had some money to invest with. And then I started getting involved in different communities, and I saw all the opportunity that it really was kind of the wild west of, crypto and finance and business. And, I wanted to bring my operational excellence to this space. And so as I got involved, I became COO of, of a project, and I was overseeing the live project to get that app live. So it took 6 to 7 months, and we brought a full-scale wallet to fruition. And then during that journey, I met the other teammates with Kim and Enrique and Alan, and we're like, you know what? We can knock this out of the park. We have a really good idea for mass-scale adoption, and that's how we created Self. And so we started working on it like summer of last year. Really started diving in around December, January of this year. And our product went live just, a few weeks ago.
All right. Your focus is to make the experience seamless, more fluid for mass adoption for average Joe. Could you let us know about your target audience? What kind of people would be interested in using your services?
Well, they say that only 5% of the population is in crypto. And so our target is for all the people that aren't familiar with crypto, because even the folks that are in it today, we did a survey, and over 50% of those people have messed up when sending a transaction. They've either sent funds to the wrong address or they sent it to the wrong chain. And, our concept with the simple username that can be applied to any sex, any DEX, any wallet, any business is really trying to get those users on board and simplify it. So our target audience is really anybody that wants to be new into crypto, and also the vets, because, I tell this story that one of our business partners, we were doing a transaction and they messed up and they sent it to the wrong address because of a copy and paste misstep. And I'm just like, you just gave us the use case for Self. Like, you would never mess that up if you were sending your crypto to Self, SELF.
So you guys, given that the digital identity part of your, proposition, you are admitted to wallet addresses across Web3, it must be allowed on other chains as well, or is it exclusive to a particular ecosystem? How are you guys expanding it technically?
Well, the way we work, so we are going to be multi-chain, but currently we're on BSC. And so the way it works is that you can add all the different networks and chains to our NFT in the metadata. And that's how the technology works and is inclusive and if you think about a wallet, they build in all the different networks like BTC, Concordium, FTM, BSC, all EVM compatible. And so you can build that out into the NFT. So, to give you kind of an example, let's say the Clever wallet integrates the Stealth technology. And so if I have the NFT username of Eric Scott and I want to transact crypto with you, and let's say it's BTC, all you need to do is add your BTC address to that NFT. And then when I send it to your name, it'll recognize it and be able to send, regardless of what chain we are on.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin, we talked about Bitcoin quite a lot. Bitcoin is the biggest cryptocurrency as we know it. It does not support NFTs. It started working on ordinals, but the speed is it's nothing compared to Ethereum. I mean, ordinals are there. So how can the users of Bitcoin use your digital identity NFTs for transactions? Could you expand on it a little bit? You gave a little bit of the answer.
Yeah, just to kind of spell it out, it's kind of like the example that I was just walking through with like the Clever wallet. And so you can add the BTC network and your address to our digital NFT identity. And so if Clever integrates the Stealth technology, and so that means Clever users can now say, hey, I'm going to send you some BTC. I'm just going to send it to your handle. So it'd be to @Eric Scott if it was being sent to me. And so it's simplifying the way that you transact crypto with a digital identity. And so it's not messing with the different blockchains itself. It's how you send and receive the transaction. We're simplifying that process.
Would it be safe to say that you guys act as a middleman in the process?
We're the identification. We're identification service. And so we're simplifying the process to where how you interact with another user. So just think about how like a wallet works. So Clever, and they have all the different networks and all the different tokens. And right now, when you send and receive crypto, you have to do it through the long, complicated address.
Yeah.
And so you insert self, integrating our tech, it allows you to do that with a simple name. And so all the networks stay the same, all the tokens addresses stay the same. We're inserting ourselves so you don't make that mistake of the copy paste, or when you're sending $50,000, right? You're triple checking that address 50 times, or you're checking that address like a ton, right? And so you're like, I don't want to mess this up. But if you know that it works like PayPal, if you know that your friend is Eric and you type in Eric, you're going to feel much more confident in sending that transaction.
All right, yeah. So from an adoption point of view, and yet it's decentralized. So
yes.
It sticks to the tenets of Web3. Yeah, so that's good. Let's talk about your native token, Self, right? Can you share some basic pricing structure of your platform? How many Self tokens are required to purchase a digital NFT and a regular NFT from Self platform? What rewards are you planning out at the moment?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. So the NFT username, so those are currently priced at, if you get 5 characters, it's 2,000 Self tokens, which basically translates to about $100 right now at the current price that we are listed at today. The cheapest one is 8 characters plus, and that's only 200 Self tokens, which is like $9 to $10. And those are going to scale based off of price. So if the price shoots way up or if the price goes down, those will be adjusted. And so we're really open to everyone, and with adoption with the 8 character plus name being under $10. We are going to have some other NFTs that are digital but also have utility. We're working with a very talented artist to make basically avatar tech guys into different categories. And so we're going to be releasing those to the community in the near future. And they could have like very good bonuses like to staking and to other things. So they should be sought after. We currently have a staking site and it has a variable APR. So imagine if you had an NFT that was up for auction that gave you like a 5 to 10% boost, that would be a big deal.
All right. Let's talk, because we talked about the blockchain trilemma. You guys definitely focus on the adoption part quite a lot, making the process seamless. But again, security is an important question, as well as speed. So let's focus on security for now. How do you guys address double spending, and what sort of security protocols are you using at the moment to make sure that the NFT avatars that one purchases, they're safe in the wallet?
Well, we're 100% decentralized. We don't own anything. So the only way you can get hacked is if you like give up your private seed or information. So because we're 100%, like there's no way for someone to hack into your wallet, unless you read about people how they connect the sites, so they give out their seed phrases. It's the same thing. It's just Self doesn't own anything, and so it's really on the user to stay safe and secure your keys.
On that note, could you give us a couple of quick tips to make sure that they safeguard themselves while taking part in your
so especially for like people that aren't in crypto, I went golfing the other day and I was talking to my friend about it, and he's not in it. And when I tried to kind of explain like how to get into crypto, I was just like, man, this is still pretty complicated, at least in the United States, for people to get money from their bank account into crypto and to explore all the various chains that there are. Because really, like for people in the United States, like one of the options is Coinbase, and anything like for Binance or BSC, it's very foreign, and it's hard to like, how do I even get there to get those tokens and whatnot? And so, for someone that's going to be into crypto, my highest recommendation is to get a hardware wallet. And so hardware wallet, there's various ones, but I'm a big fan of Ledger. And so I have it, next to me all the time. That and MetaMask is a really good combination to access things. If you're going to go the hot wallet route, Clever is a very good wallet to start with. So just make sure you associate yourself with a wallet. And in that process, a wallet has what they call a seed phrase, which can be 12 to 24 letters. You have to write those down and keep them in a very safe spot. As long as you don't give those out, your crypto will be safe. Always, if anybody ever sends you any links that you don't know of or not from someone never click on it, because a lot of people will send you links to try to hack into your wallets. So that's the biggest thing I can give to someone new in this space is get a hardware wallet. Because like every time I do a transaction with a Ledger, I have to approve it. So like no one can drain my wallet unless I approve it.
So it's the other side of security, shall we? Piracy is a problem. Do you think digital avatars pose a threat to the piracy of users? This could be especially problematic for privacy coins such as Monero and Zcash. So do you propose a solution to traceability, or would you say that it cannot be used for the coins altogether?
Okay, so as far as privacy, I guess it's really on the user to how much they share. Because like if you think about the NFT avatar, like so if I buy one and it's called Eric Scott, people are gonna quickly find out that my address is Eric Scott. And so I have the ability, so let's say I'm a famous person, like LeBron James, for example. I might want to select a NFT avatar that's a little bit more discreet. And then people aren't really going to be able to pinpoint that that's me doing those transactions. Same thing on the documentation side. We have the ability to work with governments and store your driver's license and your passport. And if you think about like, why would I do that? Well, if you go to the airport and want to scan your airport tickets and things like that, or if you go to a football game and you want to scan your tickets with your NFT. And so, like me personally, like I don't have a problem keeping like tickets on there, but maybe I don't want to put my passport on there because if it's on the blockchain, then that's something that people might have access to. So that's not something that I would personally put on there. So it's a lot of self direction that you need on how much you share and how much you don't.
All right. I've been fascinated about the concept of auto chain recognition.
Yeah.
Can you explain the working of ACR and how will it help send and receive NFTs to self identities?
Yeah. So the beauty of it there is kind of like when I was talking about the Clever Wallet experience. And so we're building out more and more networks, but we have a ton of them already that are compatible with the self NFT. I believe we have BTC, we have NIM, we have Concordium, we have FTM, we have PET. And so everyone that we build will eventually have all of them. It allows the user to basically list those in their NFT avatar, list an address that they want their funds associated with. And then, like I said, if a wallet like MetaMask and Ledger and Clever, who we're talking to, once those adopt, then all the user has to do is send a transaction to the name that has been listed or their destination. And so then it interacts with the metadata, identifying what correct network to send those funds on.
Right. Recently, I interviewed, I think, one of the education officers from Victory SR. They have been working on a lot of digital twin projects, right? They've been building a lot of metaversities. Digital twin is a technology that's getting a lot of traction these days, especially in the context of metaverse. And metaverse and NFTs go hand in hand. So NFTs and digital avatars also have vast use cases for metaverse, right?
Yep.
So do you have any provisions to extend digital avatars, NFTs into the digital twins, like them with wallet addresses, etc.? And what benefits does it have to get on-chain digital twins?
So I'm not like super familiar with the digital twins concept, but you did mention metaverse, and so I can talk to that. And so we actually are talking to games as we speak to understand how we can integrate the self NFT to allow players to like either send items back and forth or tokens. Also, if you like look at some of the crypto games, they have leaderboards to see who like the top score is. There's an up and coming game called Champs that's like super fun in the crypto space. I love playing it, but basically I was talking to them how do they have an item in a marketplace system. So it's like, hey, could you use your NFT to attach those and send between players? And they have like some cool leaderboards and stuff like that. So when I say that self can be adoptable, it's literally can be integrated into like any crypto project if you really think about it. And it's also what's really cool about another angle is that we provide a revenue share to our partners as well. So if you're another project in the space and you're partnered with Self, you could be like, hey, we have the utility of a revenue share, which 95% of crypto projects don't have. But yeah, on the metaverse front, there's a whole another group of partners for us to talk to utilize Self.
It's definitely something that you should look into. But I am now interested about your native token Self, and people would be interested about it. Where is it available? And could you let us know a little bit of about the tokenomics and how did you decide upon the tokenomics of your native token?
Yeah, so it's currently available from a DEX standpoint. You can get it on PancakeSwap. You can get it on Unis 1inch, and then it's also on MEXC as far as an exchange goes. And then as far as like the tokenomics, like we just actually had some recent big news. When we launched the token, we had a total max supply of 1 billion. And so we recently reduced that to only 500 million. So that was like really big news for the community. Our tokenomics are very simple. We had a chunk that goes for staking, and that has enough in it to last around 5 years. The beauty of our staking protocol is that it adjusts based on how much is staked. So it's a variable APR. So if nobody's in it, the percent's going to be super high. And if there are a lot of people in it, then the percent goes down. But we have enough tokens in there to last around 5 years. And then a big chunk, we've kind of lumped in everything from operations, liquidity, marketing. That is in a wallet that's going to take 5 years to vest. So that's a big deal. And so people can feel safe that those tokens won't be released into the market immediately. And so it's 5 years at about 3 million tokens a month. So very low percent inflation on that. And then we also have like burn mechanisms with revenue share. So money that self makes, we have the option to burn a percentage of those tokens, even making us deflationary with only a $500 million cap. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some insight.
That does. It is interesting. And do you have any? Are you planning on getting into a centralized exchange? Because you said you're now mainly available on some decentralized exchanges.
We are on Mexi, and that's a centralized exchange.
Mexi. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And as far as like future ones, like, so here's something people need to understand as well. And so if you see a project that has like a ton of exchanges, that really does a burden on the project liquidity and can make it harder for people to buy and sell reasonably. And it really sets a project up for failure as they need to keep liquidity stocked on all those different exchanges. Mm-hmm. So the best approach is to have like the decentralized option, mm-hmm. and then limit yourself to only a handful of centralized. And I think that's going to be a big narrative this next cycle is, I mean, you witnessed what happened this last couple of years of FTX going, under and all the projects that went bankrupt and stuff, and people losing their money. And so I feel like this cycle is really going to focus on decentralization and Telegram bots and things like that. So people are really going to own the crypto experience versus relying on a central exchange.
I was just about to ask about the NFT marketplace in general and where does it stand. We made a lot of videos. We ask every NFT influencer, subject matter experts who come here, we ask, are NFTs dead? Because major NFT indices are down. NFT 500 is down, Social 100 is down, Metaverse 10, and every major indices are down. But at the same time, there are a lot of market research out there that are projecting the growth of the NFT marketplace to about 30% CAGR till 2030. So in the long term, they are saying it might grow. My question is, what should new NFT holders focus on? Because most of the NFT market share, it goes to profile picture projects, which is something quite close to digital identities, what you guys offer. Would we say that?
Honestly, I don't think of us as even kind of related to the NFT market, right? And all we're doing, we're a naming protocol. And so we happen to be on an NFT. We're making it fun. We're making it fun to have a naming service, if you really think about it this way. And so using an NFT, we're basically like a very high utility NFT project that solves real world solutions, and the NFT part is the fun part of it. And so, most NFTs that are out there are just digital pretty pictures. Like our service is an actual service that happens to be an NFT. It's like that, and that's a common thing that in the market that people don't understand is that the whole concept in an NFT is like high utility case. It just doesn't have to be a pretty picture. And that's with like sending and receiving crypto or storing documentation. Like there's a whole world that has not been explored. People just have associated NFTs with pictures and things like that. There's a whole tech behind it, which is fantastic. And so we've tapped into that, and I think that's what's going to surprise a lot of people with Self.
Hmm. Fair enough. Chasing utility, we could sum it up with that, right? You want us to chase utility over, communities. Do you guys have can you give us a glimpse about your community? Where are
Yeah.
you guys, hanging out, or Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse? Where
So
you?
yeah, so we have we do Twitter a lot. We have thousands of followers on there. We have a Telegram. People. What makes us really different than a lot of other projects is that our team is fully doxed. I'm here. Kim. We've got Enrique. We've got Levinus. We've got Alan. Alan. He used to play pro football for Forest in the UK and other clubs. And so the team is very public and we're very interactive on Telegram. And so what I'm kind of seeing is, I'm invested in other projects and you really hardly ever hear from the team. And you come into our chat and people are like, man, I'm investing in this token just because of the team. Like we're very approachable. We've got a ton of experience. And we're also on Discord. And so we're on various platforms so people can use us. But I might be biased, but I feel like a lot of people stick with us because of how we treat our community and interact with them.
Mhm. So we do have a lot of people who's going to watch it from a user point of view, this podcast, but at the same time, a lot of founders, CEOs who want to start an NFT project, right? You yourself have a lot, come from a finance background. You said there are people going to watch it from tech background, non-tech background. So generative AI is a buzzword a lot of people use nowadays. Could you are you guys dabbling into it a little bit? Are you guys utilizing generative AI? Could you give a couple of tips to the budding entrepreneurs how to get into a Web3 project?
So on the AI question, so our devs are working on bots and AI items to basically streamline some of the processes, and I'm kind of watching it go live as they're testing some of the automatic name resolution for future scope. Because right now, if you visit like the self website, we have like our version 1 of that username experience, and so now they're working on version 2. So we are, and Levinus that's on our team has a really big AI background. So he's got a lot of experience in that space. As far as like new people are getting into the space, 90% of it is like networking and getting to know your contacts and joining Telegram groups of like-minded people. I went from knowing no one in the space, and now my Telegram is literally hundreds of chats of either partnerships and businesses and then devs, and it's really easy just to start networking and then show your value by if you're a coder, like get your work out there, put it on GitHub, get people seeing that you work hard and you have a lot of code that you can showcase. If you're an operations person, show that you're reliable and that you can deliver and that you can hit deadlines, and things like that. It's so crucial to network. I'm in a couple of private groups that are with CEOs and COOs, and that's just expanding, and you'll realize how small the space really is because it's only 5% of the population, right? According to like crypto.com and stuff. It's all about like who and getting those relationships to get yourself in the door.
Fantastic. Mr. Scott, before we part, could you let our viewers know where could they be a part of your community? Where could they avail of your service? How do they get on board with Self?
Yeah, you bet. Probably the easiest way for everyone to kind of find out about us is to go to our website. So I'm sure that you could probably help share some links for us, but it's basically selfcrypto.io. And if you go on there, you'll be able to find our Telegram, our Twitter, our Discord. You'll see the team. You'll learn more about the project. You'll be able to see our dashboard. And so just go to that website and familiarize yourself with our different links. And that's a great way to get started.
Good enough. Good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, go to selfcrypto.io and check them out before you avail of their services. Mr. Scott, thank you very much for being here with us. We would definitely cover you guys in the future as well. We're excited to see you grow in the market.
Hey, I really appreciate it, and it was fun talking to you. We should do a podcast in the future. It'd be fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Waiting for a couple other milestones to touch before we hop on another call. Yep. All right. Thank you very much, ladies.